Welcome back. Alleged gang boss Nafiz Modack has appeared in the Cape Town Magistrate's Court and is currently in police custody. He's facing numerous charges connected to the attempted hit on prominent Cape Town defense attorney William Booth. That's alongside Zane Killian, who's also charged with the murder of anti-gang unit detective Charles Kenya. Modack is also linked to the alleged extortion, kidnapping and intimidation of a businessman in March last year. To discuss Modack and how he fits into the Cape Town ganglands, we are joined now by Senior Advisor of the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime, Peter Gastrow. Mr. Gastrow, good afternoon. Welcome to All Angles. Thank you very much for your time. Can we just begin there? Who is Nafiz Modack, from what you know?
He's a relatively young, just over 40 years, Cape Townian who has emerged on the scene as one of the more ambitious, aggressive, ruthless crime bosses, alleged crime bosses, and who has been very successful in competing with the opponents for the extortion market in central Cape Town.
Unlike other names of gang leaders in Cape Town in the past that we've heard of recently, until this case of Charles Kenya's killers and the people who tried to attack William Booth, never heard of his name. Has he been around? Has Modack been around for some time?
No, you are right. He's not someone who in the past has pushed himself to the fore. He, for example, hasn't gone through the normal Cape Flat gangs ladders in order to get to the top. In a way, he's skipped that and gone straight into his own type of activities which he leads. He's been involved in car businesses, he's been involved in the bouncer business, but he has worked with some of the top crime bosses in Cape Town over the last 10 years, preparing himself, I suppose, picking up experience. It's only in 2017 that he came onto the scene and became public as a new challenger to the group that was basically running extortion in the Cape Town area, namely what is called the Liftman Group. Suddenly Modack was there competing for that market, the nightclub market, the market which is also linked to drugs, linked to prosecution. There he was. But in the last 2 years at least, he has really been one of the few crime bosses who's tried to be nice to the press, to the media. He would ensure that he does get media coverage. For example, he would be distributing food parcels in the center of Cape Town, in Long Street at night during the lockdown. And the TV would be there and he would be there. So in a way, he differs from some of the conventional crime bosses, alleged crime bosses, in that he is very entrepreneurial. He is someone who uses new methods, albeit rough methods, which others haven't been using in the same way before.
So he's trying to endear himself as somebody who cares about the community of Cape Town.
Yes, one always has to be careful about taking up that version. I don't know what was going on in his mind, but it's a common experience in many parts of the world that top crime people want to do what is necessary to endear themselves to the population, to gain legitimacy. Whether or not that was the case with Modack, I can't say, but dishing out food parcels is something which top gang leaders in the past here in Cape Town have done quite brazenly. The Stachy, for example, is known to have even thrown out notes, money notes. So all I'm saying is if the media picks this up, they need to evaluate whether or not this is a case of genuine philanthropy or whether it's a case of criminal philanthropy trying to legitimize yourself within a community.
I understand you perfectly, Mr. Gastrow. Now, the case is involving the attempted hit on prominent Cape Town advocate, attorney William Booth, and of course the detective Charles Kenya. I'm just wondering, people like Modack, I mean the gangs leaders like Modack would generally target some people whom they felt were a threat or would affect their their work, or were handling a case in which they were involved and there will be a tough opponent. Could this be the case with William Booth, from what you understand?
Well, in the hard crime area, it's not uncommon for opponents in other gangs, or for the police who are investigating you, or lawyers who are appearing for someone else, to target them for assassination. That's happened. But it's a high-risk operation. And our experience is that crime bosses who want to venture into that high-risk area really need to know what the risks are and be very sophisticated and careful. And if this charge against Modack sticks, if he was involved, then it's, to me, an indication that he was just not smart enough, that he had perhaps become too reckless, too confident about himself, because his progress over the last few years in the criminal markets, in the bouncer market, in the security market, has been quite impressive. So I don't have the information, but it's not uncommon, but it's a sign also, as I said, of someone who's perhaps trying to move too fast.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Gastrow there. He's, of course, from the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime, Senior Advisor. They're just sharing some insights and light on this gang leader, Nafiz Modack, who's currently in police custody in connection with the attempted hit on Cape Town attorney William Booth and, of course, the killing of Detective Charles Keenyer.